What's up, everybody? Let's get this started. So right now I'm just basically going to pin my hair back so that there is no excess hairs in the way of my face right here. Now we're just going to go ahead and tape our eyes. I wanted a really sharp kind of cut on the edge there. So I want to make sure that my eyes are taped so that everything's like pretty much perfect there. Now I'm going to be taking my Morphe 35O palette, and we're just going to be dipping into that first color there. And this is basically going to start off as our transition shade. So just go ahead and apply that to your eyelids and give it a really good base there to kind of start. And just make sure you really blend this out there so that you have enough room when laying down your next color. So we're just going to dip into that kind of like darker, it's almost kind of like a gray green brown in a way, like really cool tone brown. And I'm just going to be placing that a little bit lower than that transition shade that we just placed down. Now I'm going to be taking my Makeup Revolution concealer and just cutting out my crease right there, and only going a little bit like halfway into my eye. Now I'm going to be taking the Anastasiabeverlyhills Subculture palette, and I'm going to be dipping into the color Electric right there. And I'm just going to be placing that on the inner corner of my eyelid right there. Now I'm going to be going into the Morphe 35B palette. I love this palette, and I'm going to be taking that bright green shimmer shade and just kind of blending that into that first yellow green color that we laid down, the electric color. And I'm just going to be combining those two shades and pretty much placing that bright green on the whole rest of the eyelid. Now just taking my NYX vinyl liquid liner, and I'm going to go ahead and start to line my eye here. Just like you would line your normal lash line right there. And I actually ended up taking off the tape because it was a little bit too hard for me with the tape on there. But just go ahead and line your eye like you normally would. And then right here, you're going to go ahead and go about halfway into your crease and bring it back to that outer wing. Don't worry if you get anything on your eyelid, because just like you'll see in a second here, we're just going to go back in with that shadow and kind of cover it up. Now I'm just going to do my whole face here for you. And now let's get started on the bottom part. So basically where my like eye bag ends is where I'm going to be placing my new bottom lash line. So I just took my Hoola bronzer and I very lightly created that shape right there. And now I'm just going in with some NYX white liner and I'm whiting out my whole waterline right there. Dipping back into that shimmer shade, I'm just bringing that shadow down to kind of create the illusion like my lid is a little bit longer. And just kind of touching up the parts that I need to. Now just going back in with the Hoola shade here. And I'm just going to kind of deepen up that bottom lash line that we created, just so that you can really kind of see it and it enhances the look there. Now just dipping into that forest green shade and taking that on a pencil brush. And I'm just going to be kind of feathering this out on the bottom line there. Just really lightly kind of creating that green shadow there on the bottom. Now we're going to be dipping into our Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette in the color Enchanted, and just taking that really flat brush and just packing that closest as we can to that lash line that we created, that bottom lash line that we created. Go ahead and curl your lashes and mascara them and do some finishing details on the eyes there. And now we're going to jump into the freckles. So I'm going to go in with that dark forest green shade again in that 35B palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and start to kind of dot these all over my face wherever I want to place them. Now jumping down to that kind of lighter green. And I'm just going to be putting a little bit more freckles on there. Now, whatever kind of powder I had left over on that brush, I basically just kind of dabbed on the eyeshadow just so that it set the eyeshadow and it made it look a little bit more natural. Now I'm just taking that shimmer shade and I'm actually using that as a highlighter. So I'm basically highlighting all the points that I normally would. Gives it kind of like a really nice green golden cast there. So I actually really like to use that. Now we're going to be going back into the color Enchanted, and I'm going to be using this as a lipstick. If I had crocodile tears, that would be what I would go towards for a lipstick, but I didn't. So we're working with what we got here. Now we're just going to kind of color up the ears. I would honestly make these a little bit more darker so you don't look like Yoda mixed with the Green Lantern or the Green Goblin. Either or, they're all green. It was the wrong green. Just make it darker. I promise. It'll do you good to make it a little bit darker. But just take your Ben Nye Spirit Gum and just glue those on your ears like normal. Now just kind of place your hair the way that you'd like to place it. I'm just going to throw mine up in kind of like a half up, half down do here. And that is pretty much it, ladies and gents. This is all you're going to really need to know for the eye look here. So I hope you guys love it.
Alrighty everyone, so I'm going to go ahead and call it before I run out of sunlight, but like always, I always kind of just wing it when it comes to these looks, and I am absolutely in love with how this turned out. I have a few more like kind of artsy pieces to kind of throw the whole foresty theme together here, but honestly this is pretty much all you're gonna need to know for the actual makeup look and everything like that. Other than that, I pretty much took my dogs on a walk and grabbed a bunch of like foliage from people's yards. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but do what you gotta do, right? So I just grabbed like a bunch of like kind of foresty stuff that I saw around my neighborhood and everything. So I'm gonna be kind of creating like a little headpiece and putting some stuff on my body to just kind of make it look a little bit more like a forest fairy. So I got like this kind of cool little yarn thing and another little guy. So honestly, I'll just be throwing that together, but I'm scared that I'm gonna run out of light here. So this is just it. This is it. But I absolutely love this look, and I hope you guys do too. So thank you guys so much for coming back to another round of Cutie Pie Cosmetics. I have an absolute blast as always doing this for you guys, and please, 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 if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It would mean the absolute world to me. Let's keep this Cutie Pie Cosmetics family going here, and let's just do it. Let's be fairies together, okay? I'm in a weird mood today. All right, guys, this is it. This is the forest fairy look. Bye, guys.